Hello, dear students. My name is Samad. Today we are going to talk about these trigonometric functions, graphs of trigonometric functions. Well, I know that some students are bored of these trigonometric functions, so I'll try to explain it in the simplest way. So let's go. The graphs of trigonometric functions. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to draw the graphs of sine and cosine function. And I'll tell you now. So they are going to be waves. Have you ever seen the waves? Maybe from the films, maybe from the lake and hours. Also, uh, if you watch some films, so there are sometimes there are very big waves and there are small waves. So the waves are in some intervals they are going to be increasing, and in some intervals they are going to decrease. So waves. Um, well, as I said, today we are going to see the two functions, the sine function and cosine function. So let's start it. Well, I'm going to the next one. So I have prepared some tables and some drawings to do. So let's fill this table uh, for the first one. So we're gonna talk firstly about the sine function. So I'm gonna write somewhere here that our function is going to be y is equal to sine x. Okay, so let's go. So table, we have to fill this table. So our f is a sine as I have written here, and I have put here some values for x. X is our degree, our values for the x-axis. So I've put here some values where we are intersecting. So 0, 90 degree, 180 degree, and 270 and 360. Well, I can also write it in the pi, but I thought that it would be very well if there will be numbers to be more easier to understand. So if you want to see them in the pi, like 180 is the pi, so 90 will be pi over 2. 270 is going to be 3 pi over 2, and 360 is 2 pi. So let's fill this table. So can you say me, or I think that you know from the table that sine 0 is again 0. Well, I write it here. Then let's go for the next one. So 90, when x is 90, so sine 90. Sine 90, as you know, that's a 1. That's a 1. So what about 180? Well, it's 0. And this is 1. This is 1. And the last one, 360. This is the same with this 0 because it's already make one rotation. So it's again 0. Now, as you see, we have filled this table. Now let's put some points on our xy coordinates, the coordinate system. So this is our y, this is our x coordinate, and I want to tell that, as you see, the sine function, the maximum of a sine function is a 1, and the minimum function is a -1. So I've put here 1 and -1 in the y. So let's go. So 0 and 0, it's the starting point, so it's ordinates origin of this coordinate system. So well, 90 and 1, so I will put somewhere point here, that is this one, and then 180 it's somewhere here, no problem with that one. So here it's 1 point, and this one. So I will put them points. Now let's connect these points. Well, to connect these points, if you like draw the straight lines, it will be like a little bit not correct. So it should be waves. So it should be a little bit curved. So I'm gonna start it somewhere here. So 0 and 0, so they are here. Then our point is this one. I stop here. make it in this way. So 180. Then 270 is a -1, so we come here, and the last one is a 360, which is going to again 0, so I come here. So then, well, we can continue. So the next one will be this one, and then going to be this one, and so on. So I'll stop here. So this is the as you see, the waves are getting high and low in some points. So show you. So from the zero and this 360, I'm gonna draw a one line. So what is this line? So from 0 to 360, that's a period of a sine function. So period means the full one function, full one sine. So after this, it just copies itself till the infinity. So we can also draw the initial point from the left side of our graph and the right side. So they are copying itself. So one period is 360. So that is the sine function. So from 0 to 90, it's increasing. From 90 to 180, it's decreasing, but it's still positive. And from this part, so it's a negative from 180 to 366 negative. Half of them is decreasing, half of them is increasing. So this is our sine function. Uh, well, okay, let's go for the next slide. In the next slide, we're gonna use the function cosine x. So cosine x, the logic is the same. We're gonna weigh with the same way. So first we have to fill this table, and then uh, we will draw the graph of the cosine. So let's go for this one. So cosine 0. So from a table, you should know that the value of cosine 0 is a 1, and cosine 90 is sine 90 is, so I think that you know that one. That's a 0, that's a -1, that's a 0, and that's a 1 again, because 360 they are equal to each other. So we have filled the table. Uh, Now let's put our points. So 1 and 0. So firstly, we start from here. Then 90 and 0. So we are here. 180 and -1. So -1 and 100. It should be somewhere here. And then it's here. And then it's here. Approximately it's here. So uh, so let's go. So firstly, I'm gonna start somewhere a little bit here. So firstly, well, let me start from the beginning. Okay, one more time. So yes, it's something like this. So when the angle is 0, value is 1. So this is the starting point, no problem here. So when it's 90, the value is 0. So I'm here. Then it goes to -1. Okay, no problem here. And then we're going to 180, 70, which is 0, and then value this one. So you can continue in this way, in this way, in this way. So I'll stop it here. So again, so what I'm gonna draw the one line. So this from the 0 to 360, it's our periods. So we can say the period of a cosine function is 360, because after that it just copies itself. This wave is going in this way. Well, we have drawn this one. What can we tell about? So as you see in the both functions, there are the maximum of a sine function is a 1, and the minimum is of these functions is a -1. So now we know that the minimum and maximum point of that one. Well, let's continue. Uh, well, by the way, I want to show you the both functions on the one graph, and so we can compare them, what's happening there. So I'm gonna write it sine x. So as you see, sine x, it's with the violet. So the wave is this one, but the computer is making this one with the pi, which is a 3.14. So but the normal is the same with this one. Also, I'm gonna write it the cosine function here, and cosine function is this one. So as you see, they are going in this way, sine and cosine functions. Okay, well, that's good. Now we can so compare this. There here we have some intersection functions here and here. Okay, so